past now as an old school Varian Rin Tempo warrior. But we're jumping into our first game by the looks of it.
It's funny because it was just so good at the beginning, and then suddenly someone's like, "Hey, look, Dragon Warrior," and someone's like, "Hey, look, Cthulhu Cycle," and then
oh man,
I don't know where everything.
I'm smiling so much right now. We're gonna see the Beast Druid.
Oh my gosh, the Beast
Paladin,
Druid! And what is this? Silent Knight? Hello?
Silent Knight. I've only ever seen that played in Secret Paladin, and only recently.
That's been played. Oh my gosh, this might be Secret Paladin.
Silent Knight's pretty good in Paladin due to Blessing of Kings, and also, I suppose, the new Portal Paladin card.
This is super interesting. I'm actually just at the edge of my seat right now. We have a Marquee Charge if it's a Beast draw card. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a 1-mana 4/4 next turn. That's gonna be really cool. Oh wow. Okay, so Dragon Egg can get thrown down, and then it's really good synergy with Abusive Sergeant next turn if you really want. But that Mark of your Shards is probably gonna shut it down pretty hard. I'm geeking out over this combo of unusual decks. How about you?
It's really exciting, yeah. I mean, Mark of Yesaraj is so strong with the Enchanted Raven card in particular, but also with Druid of the Saber that we're also seeing in Icer's hand. This is looking like he's in a much better position with Gandon, just because Druid is able to kind of start the curve going much faster.
Yeah, and just like last time, while we're in the beginning, I want to give a quick shout out to our big and wonderful sponsor, Celsius, and they make an awesome drink. Check out their energy drinks. They're found in 7-Eleven. They're found in Vitamin Shop, GNC. You can look at them at Amazon. Really great prices for, it's essentially just an energy drink, really long-lasting energy. There's no sugar, there's no crash. It's really solid for gaming and for exercising or anything you might need energy for. Falcon?
Loot Hoarder is incredibly slow there.
Yeah.
Like, looking at what he's facing up against right now, Loot Hoarder is just so slow.
I'm not sure if he just wants to bait out a really solid Consecrate right now.
It seems like a really weird deck because, I mean, I'm even starting to wonder if he might have Reno Jackson in this deck. Loot Hoarder is not typically a card that you see in an aggressive deck, nor is Ivory Knight, which we did see in the Mulligan. However, oh my goodness, yeah. I'm confused. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I mean, Gandon has gotten this far, but was it with this Paladin? This is so interesting. I think he got a little unlucky because maybe this was meant to... Okay, here's another one of... Maybe this was meant to counter, you know, the typical Brokeback, and now he's up against something that's really not the typical Brokeback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. This is one of the more confusing matchups that I've had to cast recently at all. Anything I've been casting recently has had pro players who have been trying very hard with decks that they've known is good. There hasn't been too much experimenting with the new cards, and that's a second Loot Hoarder.
Well, see, what's interesting is I've actually had a lot of experience casting wacky decks in the sense that I casted the Hearthstone Team Story for a long time.
Chinese.
And what they do there, yeah, it's a Chinese league. It's very interesting because what they do there is they do a regular best of 5 conquest. Well, not conquest, last hero standing, but then they have best of, what is it? Best of 17 conquest. Essentially, you have to win with... No, it's best of 11. Yeah, you bring 9 decks total. 3 of them you stick into the first 3 matches, so like the last hero standing. And then you have to win with the remaining 6 classes in what's called the team portion of the day, essentially. So we see people play Paladin, Priest, Rogue, and those decks aren't very good. So I see all the time people just trying to experiment with the weirdest and wackiest stuff with those decks, and so I've definitely not seen... I haven't seen anything of this specific variant on the Paladin side, but I have seen some similarly wacky things, and they're usually not so successful, to be honest.
That was a particularly strong swipe and Living Roots from Icer. I mean, yes, Gandon did manage to deal a large amount of damage with that Silent Knight, but now what does he do? His hand is looking very awkward.
Yeah, his health is also at 13. That's something to note. It's actually something very big to note. I'm not sure if he notices that, but, you know, he is a bit low in health.
It is, and it's just... he has the Trucifer champion, which of course will kill something and heal, but it won't kill anything because that Druid of the Flame is on that sweet 5 health spot where it's just safe.
Yeah, it's... Jeez. That's kind of dodging everything Gandon could throw at it, and I think Gandon is just going to lose here. I mean, what? You got the Swipe for 4 damage, you got another 2 from your... Ooh. Yeah, Druid of the Flame gets 2, Swipe is another 4. You could even Hero Power just to add on. You really just have a lot of damage. Not to mention the Swipe clears the whole board.
Yeah, this is Gandon picks up another Silent Knight. Okay, and another Consecration, which just isn't gonna do anything right now. He has
anything at all.
Only 6 mana to play with.
All right, so let's move into game 2 here, Gandon. Yeah, this is unfortunately just not too great. Uniqueness is not rewarded in this situation. I really don't know how good Silent Knight can be, honestly.
I mean, it's the fact that it's got Stealth and Divine Shield. It guarantees that you can make good trades with cards like Blessing of Might and Blessing of Kings, but it is just so slow. It's even got some synergy with Keeper of Alderman, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And yeah, we're gonna see this as game right here, right now, right? We're just gonna throw down the Druid of the Claw, charge it, and win. Oh man, Savage Combatant Beast Druid seems like a blast and a half.
Yeah. So Beast Druid is gonna see its first winning, and we didn't even get to see the Menagerie Warden come down, which is the really crazy OP combo, of course, with Stranglethorn Tiger.
Yeah, or honestly with anything. I mean, you could Druid of the Charge and throw down another one. Honestly, there's just a lot of great things, and Icer is taking the series 1-0 now, up with his Beast Druid. Doesn't have to play it anymore. Now he has his Hunter and Shaman to run into Gandon's Shaman, Paladin, and Warrior. We see that Paladin is really wacky. Maybe Icer is just hoping to sweep that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but no real surprise that the Paladin does, of course, not take its first loss here.
Yeah, I mean, the real consideration is, how did Gandon actually get so far with that Paladin? Do you think he switched decks, or do you think that legitimately has the potential to do really well?
It's hard to say, but I think it definitely has the potential. What I don't know is how he's going to beat a Shaman and a Warrior with this deck. Maybe it is a deck that is specifically teched to beat Dragon Warrior, or maybe mid-range Shaman. But unless his whole lineup is targeting one of these decks, I don't know how he comes back at this point.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It just seems like a very uphill battle for Gandon now that he brought his Paladin, and we're gonna have to see him just pull a rabbit out of the hat with this one, you know?
For anyone who's just joined in recently, just a reminder, this is Best Out of 5 Conquest series. Icer is playing Hunter, Shaman, Druid, and Warrior, although his Hunter has been banned, and Gandon is playing Shaman, Paladin, Hunter, and Warrior with a banned Warrior. We're now going to jump into game number 2.
Game number 2 happening right here, right now, and we see Shaman versus Hunter. We're going to see this fabled Hunter that was not banned, unlike Gandon's, and it looks to be just regular mid-range.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Hunter... It's interesting because Argent Horse Rider there implies to me it's at least hybrid, if not a little bit more aggressive. I'm disappointed that we're not seeing any of the newer cards, at least in the Mulligan. No.
Hello? Newer
Barnes.
Card by the name of Barnes.
Yeah, there it is. But it's hard not to run Barnes in this sort of deck now, isn't it? I mean, Cloaked Huntress, and Kindly Grandmother. It'd been fun to see those cards.
Yeah, and they're really solid. I mean, obviously Savannah Highmane is very solid there, but you already have one in hand, so it's a little unfortunate.
Okay, so Gandon gets an okay start. Like, you can curve into Flame Tongue Totem there, but do you want to waste it on 2 extra damage to the face, only for it to get quick shotted? Probably not.
Yeah, I guess not. And I guess you start building up your free 5/5 points by throwing your totem down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we did see 2 of those in the Mulligan. They're not in his hand anymore, so he's not really in an urgent position to get the totems down, but they will help in the long run for sure.
Yeah, and there we go. Icer just does a nice little quick shot into the Tunnel Trog. Very reasonable play there, considering that the Tunnel Charge could really blow out of proportion. Let's see if this Tuskar Totemic drops anything worth talking about. And there's a Totem Golem. That is really solid, and that'll propel Gandon slightly further ahead in the race to hit the face.
The race to hit the face. I suppose that's sort of what this matchup is. We've now seen that both decks have, of course, Argent Horse Rider, which is very interesting. Is Icer going to coin out Barnes here?
It looks like it. I mean, 3/4 is an okay body, but depending on what you get, this could be game-changing.
I wonder what he's hoping to get.
Draw. Oh, and he got a
Direwolf.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
That's fine. You could always Argent Horse Rider and Abusive Sergeant into the Barns. I mean, you could always just trade off this Direwolf really nicely if you feel like going down that route. What do you think?
I think that coining out Barnes may have been a mistake in that point altogether, to be honest. I think he was in the position to curve out really well Animal Companion into Barnes. And this has just screwed him up a little bit. Like, now when does he get the chance to actually play that Animal Companion?
I mean, he has a Fiery Bat in hand. He could just do that next turn.
He could, but then it's still awkward because he's now ruining the chance to curve into Infested Wolf. It's just... I feel like he's just caused more problems than solutions by coining out that Barnes early.
Alrighty, I see what you're saying. Now it looks like... I mean, either way, it just looks like Gandon has a pretty solid lead. Does Icer find any removal ever? Or is he now just stuck in this weird position that you were talking about?
I don't know. See, like, there's the Horse Rider, which he's having to use to clear the Taunt Totem. I just think this is really awkward for him. I don't know how he comes back from this. Unless he gets somehow Call of the Wild into Call of the Wild. But even that seems too far away.
Yeah, it seems like he would die by then. And ooh, man, that's not even going to trade. Come on, Icer. I understand that this is providing 2 more damage for your other minions, but the fact of the matter is, he could easily just value trade a 3/2 or a 3/4 into your Direwolf Alpha, and it just goes to waste. So, oh, wow, oh, he made the trade for you. Interesting. It's not something I saw coming. Alright. Well, this is fine too. I mean, this is just going to the face hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really too many reasons to be trading. Right now, if you're Gandon, now that the Hunter is on 11 health and you've picked up a Lava Burst, it's pretty unlikely that you're ever going to lose this game in his position.
Yeah, and it looks like right here, right now, oh, you should probably just use the Lava Burst at the top. Just for BM. But anyway, right here, right now, it looks like Gandon got the win to bring him back up, tied in the series, 1-1. Looks like Gandon is done with his Shaman, and he has Paladin and Warrior left. And Icer could not get the win with his Hunter, and so he has Hunter and Shaman left.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. We're at another... At least we're seeing that the players are very close in their abilities here. Last series, we saw the game go 3-2, and this series we're 1-1. It's a great way to start.
Yeah, it's really solid. It's going to be back and forth. This is my prediction. It's probably just going to be another 3-2, which is the most exciting type because it's not just a steam roll. It's just not a face roll. You're actually seeing some quality back and forth gameplay here. Quality gameplay in Hearthstone, Capo. Yeah, but let's see. So we got nice little Hunter versus Warrior, which used to be fantastic if you're up against something like Control Warrior. But, you know, you're up against... looks to be Dragon Warrior with some Fierce Monkey and Ragnaros action, so...
Both classes that the other had banned for themselves, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But you know what I'm talking about.
You just have to look into it, I guess.
Of course, one of the reasons that Hunter used to be so strong against Warrior is because of Freezing Trap, which is something that it doesn't look like Icer is going to be running in this deck. I don't think we've even seen an Eaglehorn Bow, have we?
No, I haven't seen that either. But we do see a nice kindly grandmother. It's pretty refreshing to see some new cards get played, you know? It's good to see that this expansion had some value.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't seem, at least from my perspective so far, to have been as influential as League of Explorers. I mean, League of Explorers gave us Bran, Elise, Reno, and Sir Finley.
All right. I feel that, but at the same time, I feel like whereas they gave us a few great cards that are played in just a few decks, I feel like Karazhan gave us just some more versatile cards, if anything.
Bran gave us the new pilot. Karazhan gave us the new piloted shredder in the form of Barnes.
Yeah, that may have been a mistake.
Anywho, this is a really interesting. You mentioned the Fierce Monkey earlier from Gandon's hand, and that's a very interesting card that I don't recall seeing all that much of at all in Dragon Warriors, but seems to be doing the trick here.
Yeah, what also is doing the trick is that Fairy Dragon that was drawn off the top a while ago. That was really sweet. Oh man, there's a Knife Juggler down, and this Juggle hit the 3-1. That would have been just game over. But look over here, it is the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh my goodness, and that Ravaging Ghoul is very helpful as well. If Gandon wants to make the board a little more even there, he can trade in his Alexstrasza champion and then play Ravaging Ghoul to deal with the Abusive Sergeant, putting him in a slightly less disadvantaged position, let's put it that way.
Yeah, you're trying to say favorable, but nothing's actually favorable, so I don't know. I think you could still trade off the Direwolf. And
yeah, I mean, favorable feels like the wrong word there because he's still a little bit behind on board.
Hello? That was a weird decision. Why go face? I guess because your opponent is already getting lower. I would have traded off the Direwolf to keep my 3/6 theoretically alive, but
yeah. I suppose he's already feeling like he's so behind that he needs to start racing down the face already.
I thought you were going to say that he decided to get more behind.
Well, I mean, that's part of what that decision entails. Going face generally means giving up some board control, and Gandon does have 3 damage in his hand in the form of the Blowing Corruptor, but he doesn't seem to have much else right now. Yeah. The Ravaging Ghoul is going to be very helpful next turn, though, by the looks of it.
Definitely. Well, actually,
or not.
Yeah, all the trading off. Now, you really need 2 Ravaging Ghouls here. I think the Blackwing Corruptor would be pretty useful, though.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So he could go for Slam and Fairy Dragon, although I agree with you. I think the Blowing Corruptor seems just like a more solid play right now.
Yeah.
He would definitely like to draw into a second Ravaging Ghoul, as you said.
Yeah, I agree. And if you are the Blackwing Corruptor, who do you think you would go for? I probably think the Direwolf.
It's tricky. He's actually going to go for the Knife Juggler, it looks like. That does allow the Big Bad Wolf to just straight trade into Blackwing Corruptor, though, which seems really strong for Icer.
Ooh, that's a Call of the Wild. That'll be really useful in a little bit. If Icer even gets a little bit behind, that Call of the Wild would definitely just propel him back up.
That being said, that can't be played for 3 more turns, and it doesn't look like a Quick Shot can be played this turn, really, unless he decides to play both into the minion. But that seems very weak as well. Looks like Icer might have to just not do anything this turn. Just trade and then not play anything. Or not even...
Oh, well, I guess it's a race to the face.
There is a lot of
just
going
seems
face.
The way it is. Whoa, is that the Curator?
Now, I've been told that a few people have been playing Curator in Dragon Warrior recently, and I don't personally get it. It feels a little bit slow for this deck, in my opinion, unless Dragon Warrior in general seems to be slowing down a bit. But I believe that Icer made a mistake by going face then, as he has allowed Gandon to completely come back on the board. And those quick shots aren't even enough to put a stop to him right now.
Right. No, I was going to say, if he starts going face with those quick shots, I mean... all hands on deck, I guess. Just hang on. But this is tough. Ooh, Fiery War Axe off the top is going to be pretty decent for trades. But Curator...
yeah, despite what I just said, this seems very strong right now.
Draconid, Finley, and No Beast.
But getting Finley from the Curator is very strong. I suppose it does immediately become better in any deck that runs Finley for that very reason.
Yeah, definitely.
But we do get Call of the Wild into Call of the Wild next turn from the Hunter. This could still go either way, I think.
It's just going to be too late, though, because this is lethal.
This is lethal, you're right. Okay, I was just saying it could go either way, but that's clearly very wrong. As Ice's Hunter picks up yet another loss.
Wow, Gandon is really straight to the point. I would have possibly just played Finley Mergleton to see if I could get a Hunter Hero Power and tilt my opponent, but... that's because I'm just a scumbag.
Right.
No, just kidding.
So, I guess that Icer is regretting not banning the warrior right now, while
Yeah.
Gandon is happy that he did ban the warrior and not the hunter.
Yeah, because who doesn't ban a warrior? I don't know. It seems like the right play, you know? Definitely seems like a good play here.
Right, well, we are going to jump into another game straight away.
Yeah, I mean, we're hopping in. Now it is game... What is it? It's game 4. Icer has the potential to
Win right now, doesn't he?
No, Gandon.
No, sorry, Gandon does, and he has to win with the paladin.
Oh,
eventually.
gosh, it's the paladin. I forgot about it. Oh.
It's going to get interesting.
All right, see ya.
You guys can't see him right now, but Bloody has left the building.
It actually to walk away. This paladin is so wacky. Is it actually going to get a win? Are we going to see this paladin win a tournament? That'd be real sweet. Is this Nazoth? What is the Karen doing here? Hello?
I mean, Ken definitely seems like an Azoth, but everything else we've seen doesn't.
Yeah. It's like, well, this one card in the deck looks like another deck, but nothing else does.
My Reno theory was already put to rest when we saw the second Loot Hoarder and the second Consecration in the previous game, so I really don't know. I assumed Secret Paladin straight away because that's the only deck I've ever seen Silent Knight played in before, but I haven't seen a single secret, have we?
No, we have not seen any secrets. And right now it looks like you're just not seeing any playable cards either.
Man, that's so unlucky. He didn't even decide to coin out the Silent Knight there. There's Bloodlust. We've already seen some Bloodlust shenanigans tonight.
Yeah, but see, the problem is if Icer had some sort of a good follow-up for this one, then that would have been really great. But now Gandon might be able to make a slight comeback.
Well, he can start to put stuff on the board anyway. He could have coined out Consecration there. I suppose he's saving that for next turn and saving his coin maybe for an earlier can. Depending on what Icer decides to do this turn, yeah, that's going to be a really solid Consecration.
Yeah, definitely. It's very, very solid. Yeah, everything has 2 health or less. What more could you ask for, am I right?
Now, the question is, does Gandon attack with his Silent Knight, or does he just sit
Probably just attacks. I mean, you're not going to have your opponent touching your Silent Knight for a long time, so you might as well just hop in head first.
Well, we say that, but the Rockbiter weapon pickup may change things. Of course, Silent Knight has Divine Shield, so it's still not going to be dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that the next turn play is just maybe a Dragon Egg into Rallying Blade, right?
Potentially, especially with the taunt up there. I think Rallying Blade is looking much better now. Silent Knight trades into the taunt, and Rallying Blade kills the Flame Tongue Totem. Well, otherwise, I
would probably just trade my face into the taunt and then my Silent Knight into the Flame Tongue.
I wouldn't kill it though. Oh yeah, of course I would. Of course I would. My goodness, Rallying Blade actually has an ability. It's one that is very rarely seen.
Suddenly, Rallying Blade actually does something interesting.
Man, that actually worked out really nicely for Gandon. Could we actually be seeing the Paladin win a game here?
Yeah. No, probably not. No, just kidding. I don't know. I just don't have too much faith in this Paladin.
I don't know. Looking at Ice's hand right now, he's got Bloodlust, which is... well, it's a dead card until he fills up the board, which isn't looking like it's going to happen anytime soon. That being said, Icer could actually play all of his minions right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot to play right now if he really wants to. And he could also trade off almost this entire board. And it's just such an interesting situation that he's up against that. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think playing all of the minions is correct. And it looks like, yeah, he's going to play the Rockbiter. He's going to trade the Tuskar Totemic and wait and see if Gandon has anything to clear this board. And if he does, then Icer probably loses the series. So kind of risky there.
Yeah. In addition, we do see Icer sit at about, 15 or 16 damage just with his Bloodlust, right? I mean, he's got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 damage on board. So he's getting pretty close.
It's true. It's true. The Adult Peacekeeper is probably going to put a slight stop to Icer this turn, at least preventing the damage from Thing from Below. Or do you think he might just play Cairn or even Ivory Knight here?
I mean, Ivory Knight is actually a consideration because it will heal, and you can get something like, I don't know, some wacky clear, but instead he ends up going for Karen, which is probably the smarter move. But from Icer's point of view, you're definitely just going to hit face now.
Yeah, well, Icer's 4 off lethal when you count the rock biter weapon as well. He's bound to draw into a Doom Guard or a Lava Burst at some point. Sorry, a Doom Hammer, not a Doom Guard. He won't get one of those. A Doom Hammer or a Lava Burst at some point. So
yeah, and it looks like he's going for the
Yeah.
Bloodlust straight to the face.
So he's sort of relying on Gandon not having any heal. And that Abusive Sergeant pickup was huge. He can play it. He can play the Ivory Knight as well. With any luck, he can heal for 10.
There it is. Anything can happen. He could definitely heal for 10.
Though he is considering, it looks like healing for 4 and taking the Consecration.
Ooh, how do you feel about that choice?
I think you have to heal for 10. I think the fact that your opponent just played
agree.
Bloodlust shows that they're ready to just kill you as soon as possible. And because of the fact that he's emptied his hand, healing and simply clearing the board like this might be all Gandon needs to do to take this game.
Yeah, and ooh, that's a Lightning Storm, but that's not really going to have too much value at all, except for possibly upping the Tunnel Trog's attack.
Oh, that's a little bit better. It allows Lightning Storm to maybe clear Ivory Knight, and even if it doesn't,
Yeah, I mean, if he high rolls on both the high ones, then this is
Yeah.
really good for him. Oh, and he doesn't high roll for either of them. Inconceivable, says the little Murloc.
So what does he do then? I mean, he trades the 1/1 into the Ivory Knight, of course, but does he play Rock Biter weapon now?
Yeah, I guess he's clearing off this 4-2 as well, and then probably just clearing off the 2-1. He's really just trying to keep this board dominance here. And I'm not sure if he plays Doomhammer, but if he does, now would definitely be the time to draw it.
Ragnaros is coming down now, right? It's kind of awkward because it's probably going to hit a totem, but I feel like you don't have another choice that turn.
Yeah. I mean, and if it goes face, then you're definitely not upset. And it goes right towards the face, and now you're actually pushing him pretty close to lethal. Manatide Totem has no immediate impact on the board right now. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus this 8 is actually just enough for lethal, if you really think that this rag will hit face.
Do you believe in the rag? Oh my goodness, we have a second
boy.
Ragnaros.
Can you say 2 Ragnaros?
And you know what? He's just saying, okay, I'm totally safe if I play this. It puts me back at 22 health. I've seen a Bloodlust. It's unlikely that he runs a second one, and even if he did, that wouldn't be lethal right now.
Let's see. What if you healed up to 22? I think that... No, I don't think that'll be lethal.
No,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17... Yeah. 16 damage if he drew Bloodlust right then and there.
Yeah.
So that is not enough damage, and it looks like Gandon is probably actually going to be able to win with this Paladin. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what is Icer gonna do? Is he gonna deal with Light Lord? Because, okay, he's throwing his resources into killing Ragnaros Light Lord because...
No.
Oh no, okay, he's just dealing
He's
damage
just damaging
to
it, it looks like, and that is the game. Gandon has actually won with this wacky Paladin. Gandon, I'm sorry for doubting you, sir. Congratulations, you're moving on to the finals of the Celsius and Good Gaming Free Roll Jackpot Tournament. Wow, that was